Metro Last Light just got its 10 years anniversary, and to celebrate it, 4A Games made the game available for free on Steam until 25th of May. If you are into radioactive contaminated landscapes and manage to not play this game, then this is a good chance to do so. The system requirements for this game lists video cards as old as the DirectX 10 Radeon HD 4000 series, so it made sense to have a go at it using the newer by comparison Radeon HD 5000 6000 series cards. Regulars of this channel are already familiar with the TeraScale 2 family, as I like to call it, so we'll go very briefly through the cards. The HD 5870, the 5000 series single GPU flagship, the HD 5770 and 6850 as mid-range cards, and the HD 6670 as the budget card. Like all our previous tests, the cards ran in an HP Z230 workstation using an i7-4770 equivalent Xeon and 32GB of DDR3 RAM in dual channel at 1600 MHz. We used the built-in benchmark but ran it at low settings. This way, the lowest performing cards have better chances of reaching playable frame rates at one of the tested resolutions. At 1080 resolution, the HD 5870 blows all the other cards out of the water. The 1% loss of 58 FPS is just as high as the average of the following video card, while the average of 91 FPS is more than adequate for a good gameplay experience. In the mid-range segment, the HD 6850 almost reaches 60 FPS, and the HD 5770 is still well in the acceptable territory with 40 FPS average. Their 1% loss is still acceptable at 38 FPS and 25 respectively. The HD 6670 needs a lower resolution to reach single-player average frame rate. What I find funny about the 1080 resolution chart is how the 1% loss of one card is very close to the average FPS of the following card. But enough about 1080, let's see if 1600 by 900 changes things. The 5870 is still leading the pack with 100 FPS on average and 65 FPS for the 1% lows. The mid-range cards are providing 1% lows above 30 FPS for the 5770 and almost 50 for the 6850. The average FPS also indicates a good gaming experience with 54 FPS and 74 FPS respectively. The HD 6670 now reaches in the mid-30s for the average FPS, but the 1% loss still leaves something to desire at 23. Lowering the resolution to 720 gets the HD 6670 into the playable territory with 51 FPS on average and 33 FPS for the 1% lows. Good enough for this single-player title. The mid-range cards will reach 72 FPS for the HD 5770 and 92 for the 6850. The latter card has the 1% lows figure in the low 60s, while the former reaches high 40s for the same metric. As for the zeros for the 5870, well, I messed up. I forgot to capture the FPS statistics, and when I decided to redo the test, the 5870 refused to put up an image. However, the trend of the 5870 was towards a platform bottleneck. When switching to 1600 by 900 from the initial 1080 resolution, all other cards performed better by 30% to 50%, except for the 5870, which had a higher average FPS by just 10%. This is quite similar to what we noted in our Dying Light video. But this video was less about the 5870 to begin with. What I aimed here is to point out that one can play good games using modest hardware, and this should be your main takeaway. This is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you for the next one.